Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday night stream. Let me know who is here, what you're working on tonight. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I couldn't believe it. I logged on to YouTube just to. All right. I think my Wi-Fi had a little blip there, but hello, Miley, and hi, Malin. Thank you guys for being here. I hope my Wi-Fi isn't behaving too terribly, and it'll sort itself out in a second. This happened during the last stream too. Um, Hi, Kayla. Oh my goodness, so sweet. Thanks for being here. How are you guys? And please let me know if I'm just like way too choppy. I can see on my screen that I'm getting a little pixelated. Oh, sorry. It says I have full strength, so I'm not totally sure why. 3? Yeah. Oh, man, this happened during the last stream too, and it went away after a little while, so I'm just gonna roll with it and apologize profusely. You think it's Restream? That might be. That might be. Um, because I've been having this issue, honestly, since I switched, so you might be correct. But yeah, let me know if it doesn't seem to catch up, and I guess I'll troubleshoot. But um, Miley said, "So many streams on, and this is the only one I want to watch." Oh my God, you're too sweet. You're too nice to me. I feel so sad that I'm overlapping with Cody and Charlie. Like, oops, that was my bad. I would definitely be in those streams if we weren't here tonight. Um, Helen said, "I've had the same issue with them too, and my internet speed then was amazing." Yeah, I am getting like full bars on all of my devices, so I don't know what this is about. Um, we love you no matter the quality. Thank you, Miley. I'm hoping that we'll eventually get into a sprint and hopefully things will work themselves out. Um, or I may do a little like Wi-Fi refresh while we're on a sprint, and hopefully that's not too disruptive. But yeah, how has your week been? My, Mine has been a little crazy. I I'm trying to finish my Act One rewrite by the end of September. Um, and I'm close. I have 2 chapters left now. But the challenge is that I'm going on a trip this weekend, so, like, ideally, I wanted to finish all of this by Friday, 2 days from now, um, which is looking a little less likely. I had a writing session last night that I don't wanna say was bad or like that was the worst writing session I've had in a while. It was just really, really unsatisfying. I was like super on task and I worked for like 3 hours last night and all I got out of it was like 700 added words because I just went so slowly over this new section I'm adding where I'm having a conversation between my main character and like a totally new character. And I was thinking so hard about every single line of dialogue, like, I was probably overthinking it, I mean, clearly. But I was just writing and rewriting, and do I want the conversation to go this way? Do I want the conversation to go that way? Like, really thinking about what would be the most valuable for them to talk about, and how could I get the most out of that conversation in terms of their characters being, defined, and there's some exposition this character could give. Um, ugh, I'm just trying to like really make sure that every single thing I put on the page is doing work. So yeah, I was really not pleased that I didn't get into chapter 6 last night after 3 hours of writing. But that is what we're here to do tonight. So, yeah, tonight I'm starting a new chapter. It's a chapter that I imagine I will be able to keep most of and probably just needs a lot of things added around the edges, if you know what I mean. So, that is me. Hi, Amber. Thanks for joining. Sorry for the bad Wi-Fi. We're on the struggle bus. We're live, laugh, loving with the pixelation right now. Um, thank you, Malin. um, can I write during the trip? That is a great question. I'm considering it now. The tough thing is that I am going to be in the car for 6 hours there and back. However, I don't think writing during the trip is an option. I think I probably would get car sick, but 6 hours is such a long time that I'm tempted to try. I'm tempted to try. I could also bring my laptop and try and sneak some time in because, there may be times when people are sleeping in and maybe I'm awake earlier, but if I'm honest, I doubt that the motivation will strike me. But we'll see. Um, I had a great evening today. I checked on a dress I've been thinking about buying all week and it was on sale. Hell yeah. Good for you. Your patience is paying off, and I would love to know what dress it is as well. Yeah, I get so car sick. It's like I can't do my two main hobbies, reading and writing, in the car. It feels really unfair. Sometimes it's a slog. I get you. Ugh, yeah, definitely a slog last night. I also get car sick. The only thing that helps me is to grab a mandarin and smell it the whole time. Yeah, I'm really big on like ginger, hard candy. And I'm totally fine if I'm not, on my phone, book, or like, trying to read basically. If I'm just enjoying the ride, I'm totally fine, thank goodness. I'm gonna read a little bit and then I should draft WWW, but I want to draft in my fun Western. My goodness, all of these sound like very fun options. And is WWW your um like fairy tale retelling project, Miley? Or am I getting that mixed up with your D&D campaign? Do they overlap? Please, I need a new project update. It's been a minute. It's a dress from Nobody's Child. Ooh, what a badass name for a clothing brand. That's very punk, I believe. Um, but with that being said, I think I will get us into our sprint. I see I have lost about 6 people with the Wi-Fi struggle, which I do not blame them for. Um, but let's get into a sprint and I will try and investigate my Wi-Fi a little bit. What are we feeling for length? We are here at the evening and not in the morning, so we can actually do whatever length we want. I've really been enjoying 30s lately because it's just taking me a minute to really like get into my draft. I've been doing a lot of rereading the draft. Um, and that's part of why I took such a long time last night because I just kind of read a lot. So longer sprints have been my jam. I hope that's all right with you guys. All right, let me get this up. We're gonna do a lemon timer. Yes, thank you for sending me the dress. I definitely want to see it. That is correct. The campaign is fairy tales, but also so is WWW. I'm in the last quarter of the draft. Excellent. That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Um, I hope you will let us know when you get closer to the end so we can celebrate. Love along sprint. Okay, excellent. Very good. Well, here we go. Here's our first 30-minute sprints, everybody. Good luck. All right, everybody. Good work. That is the end of sprint number 1. So let me know how you did. I think I'm unfortunately still pretty pixely. I don't know what's going on. I think I will probably have to switch to StreamYard for my future streams because this has been happening a lot to me with Restream. Boo. Let me try and remove and add myself. That didn't help. But anyway, thanks for putting up with it. Let me know how that sprint was for you. Amber said I'll be working on my first, yikes, Kickstarter campaign for my debut middle grade novel. That's so exciting, Amber. I'm really excited to hear this. I know you've been working on this for a long time. And I hope there's some way that we can support your Kickstarter and you can let us know how to follow along. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Adam is here. Chaotic day, but I'm here. Well done. Good job making it. And hope you're in for a calm night. Lizzie is here. Hello. I pulled up the beta reading manuscript for Miley. That is step number 1. So I'm glad for that. Better than pulling up TikTok, you know? Laptops these days have no stamina. Yeah, I don't know what's going on because I have full strength on the laptop and the iPad, so I have no one else to blame. Um, Also for Malin, the deadline for this is in November, and I'm reading at a reasonable pace like a reasonable person. Well done being reasonable. Um, Deadline in November. So yeah, I assume you had a good chunk of September, October, November. That sounds really nice. And when I'm doing a beta read, I like to obviously like read the manuscript one time through as a reader and just kind of capture organic reactions to things. And then the second time, I like to have time for a second time. I like to have time to do another reread to kind of look at where the puzzle pieces are, where the blocks are, and get an idea for the structure the writer made and the character arcs and things like that. So it sounds like you will have time to like do a couple of passes if that's something that works for you. Sorry to hear you have to fall back to StreamYard. I know, because I think they have a 10-hour limit a month now, which um, I'll have to be careful of if we're going back to StreamYard. That's definitely disappointing. Thank you. Appreciate the congrats. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And I believe it's a book about dance, which is so close to my heart. So I'm excited for you in this journey. And Kickstarter sounds so fun. 50 words. Started I think I got about 200 in chapters, started my new scene. This scene is fun because it's a training sequence. There are monsters in this book, so my character is practicing for fighting the monsters, which is obviously a good chance for me to actually explain to the reader, what to expect as far as how the monsters look, uh, how they're dangerous, how fighting and to kind of like brief the reader on what the monsters are and all that because I definitely did not know very much about my monsters until the very end of the book when I had to write that monster invasion. And so this training sequence in the first draft was really, really, really sparse. Um, and it basically was like the scene opened when they were done with the training and it was like, woo, good session, let's rest on the bench or whatever. Um, but I want to now take the chance to really use this scene and do a little bit of, exposition about the monsters. So that's what I'm doing. Um, Miley said I actually beta read the last draft of this, so I get to really sink my teeth in this time. Very fun. So fun when you get to be along for the ride for multiple drafts. I think that's so special and so, so satisfying to see the changes the writer made and to see the book level up. That's like one of the most fun things ever. It's so fun. Um, yeah, I know. I'm freezing all over the place. I'm sorry. I hope it's not too unbearable, but we are here to write after all, aren't we? Not listen to me yap. But I appreciate everyone bearing with me. Um, but all right. With that being said, I will just get us into another sprint since I know it's painful to watch me get pixelated. Um, I'm gonna do 30 minutes again because that went by really fast for me. All right, so let's turn back to our documents. Um, I just refresh. It's all good. Okay. Oh, technology, technology. All right, everybody, let's keep the focus rolling. Here's another 30 minutes. Good luck. Sorry I didn't have my mic plugged in. Hopefully that sounds better. But good work. That was the end of our second sprint. How did we do? I did well. I got into the training sequence and I am now 660 words for the day. So that's really close to my 700 word goal. So I'm feeling very good about that. And I'm getting into a little bit more of a part that I get to keep, and that is always nice. So let me know how you guys did. Miley, I've been in a bad slump. I think this is hopefully not for the sprint in particular. I think you're talking about the reading, right? I wanted to know what you guys have been reading lately. It's been a little while since I have pulled the chat about books. I am reading a nonfiction right now. Who is she? I know. I usually just read fantasy, fantasy, fantasy. Another one, another one, another one. Um, but I'm trying to, grow. I'm reading nonfiction. I'm reading a book called 4,000 Weeks, I think it's called. And the subtitle is Time Management for Mortals, which I quite like. Um, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm about 30% of the way through, and it's very existential. I will say that, but in a way that I appreciate. And so far, it's kind of just distilling a lot of what I think I'm starting to learn as a 30-year-old about how to have some semblance of work-life balance, if that can even exist. But it's talking a lot about like radically accepting the fact that our time is limited and how we use that framing in terms of our to-do list and also just in terms of our time on earth being limited. And how do you prioritize the small things and the big things, and ruthlessly cut from your life the things that you just do not have time for or do not want to spend your precious time on. So it's been interesting. I'm looking forward to the second half of the book where hopefully there's some strategies. um, since so far it's just stuff that I pretty much align with. But yeah, it's been interesting. I also have on my nonfiction list How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy, by Jenny Odell, and I think that one will be really good brain food as well. Lizzie said, I'm currently reading Blood Like Magic by Lizelle Sambury, and I've got 20 more pages to go until the end. Oh my goodness. I really, really enjoyed Blood Like Magic, and I remember the end of that book being absolutely crazy and had me like in an emotional chokehold. And oh my gosh, it's one of the most intense endings I can really think of off the top of my head. So I hope you're loving it. Oh my goodness, the end of that book is absolutely crazy. Um, excited for Local Heavens. I am really excited for Local Heavens too. I've got it on pre-order, so I know it's coming to me. My only question is I'm debating whether I reread The Great Gatsby before or after Local Heavens. Like, what would be the best order? I'm thinking Local Heavens first because I kind of like the idea of going into it with a bit of a fuzzier memory, of the Gatsby story, and then reading Gatsby after, um, and getting to see all the things that Chris, was inspired by. But I'm very excited for this book too. Um, yeah, Smiley, I hope you can get out of your slump. And maybe you did, since the beta reading, you got through most of a chapter, which is nice. Um, Amber said, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders. Super cute book by Jesse Q. Sutanto. That sounds good. I've heard a lot about this one as well. That one has a very cool cover. if I remember right. Um, for the sprint, Adam listened to someone describe a picturesque autumn afternoon. Very descriptive. There was a lot about the black iron table under a tree. Ooh, very cool. I love this. And you reminded me that I meant to pick out some like fall timers for the sprint today, and I totally failed. I went right back to the good old lemons. So I'll work on that and I will get some fall themed timers back in the rotation. Um, Amber is working on putting in my reward tiers. Tedious. Oh, but fun. Hopefully you have some good stuff in the works. Let us know if you have like character art or bookmarks. Like, love to know how you approached it. And Lizzie finished reading the book. And yes, the end was insane. Yeah, I hope you're okay, Lizzie. Go get a hug from someone because I had emotional damage at the end of that book, and I'm sure you do as well. Um, yes, Vera Wong does have a cute cover. If you've got the story ingrained in your brain, my advice would be to let Fitzgerald sit on the shelf so he doesn't encroach on Chris's own merits. Yeah, I think this is what I'm leaning towards. I don't want um that to be like hanging over me or like looking over my shoulder. I just want to enjoy the book for what it is on its own and not be thinking about the changes so much or like, even just subconsciously noticing or comparing. I just want to like enjoy it as its own thing. Because I think it's going to be amazing. Alrighty, friends. I have just like 100 more words before I hit my goal for the day. So I think we will do a little cool down sprint and let me actually try to get like a fall timer, as I was just saying. Let me see. Going back to Laura, my patron saint. Here we go. This one looks nice and cozy. All right, it's a 20-minute, so just a little bit shorter. I hope that works well for you guys. So let's take this cool down sprint to get our documents in a good place, to make our notes for next time, tie up any loose ends, and of course, we will, as tradition requires, on my night streams, my Wednesday night streams, I ask everybody to share either a line from your whip or you can share one good thing that happened to you this week or this month. So yeah, I love ending the streams on a little moment of gratitude. So you can be thinking about that and share either, yeah, a line from your whip that you really like or just something good and happy. So be thinking on that and I'll see you on the other side. right, guys. I was so into my scene, I did not hear the timer going off. How did everybody else do on your cooldown sprint? Let me know. It went by very fast. The whole night went by so fast, but I got a lot done. I got up to 950 words for the night, which is really, really awesome. I have not really approached 1,000 words in a writing session for a couple of days now. So I'm very happy that we made it today. But yeah, let me know how everybody else did. I'm going to save everybody's answers for a moment. But for Amber, I'm grateful for the sprinting session. It came right on time. JK joined us right at the end. Sorry, we are wrapping up, but it's good to see you as well. I hope your writing is going well. Adam checked some messages and got another 108 words in a Discord trivia post about Hedgehog in the Fog. Ooh, I don't know what Hedgehog in the Fog is, but that sounds fun. For Miley, got 2 chapters read for the day. Nice job. Nice job. And thank you, Amber. I'm very pleased. I am very pleased. But yeah, as per tradition, if y'all know, if you've been with me on the last sprint of the night, I ask everyone to share a line from your whip or one good thing that happened to you this week. So I think I'm gonna read a couple of lines from mine, so give you a chance to answer in the chat if you haven't already. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay, so as I said, I've been working on a training scene, but they're done now. So he reaches out a gloved hand and I take it, letting him yank me to my feet. We wander to the edge of the ring where an ancient green willow tree hangs its drapery over the barrier. Blake parts the greenery, holding it open for me. I look around to make sure no one is watching, then follow him inside the tree's embrace. It's a few degrees cooler in the shade, a fact I'm grateful for since my arms are sheathed in leather van braces. I start peeling them off along with the rest of my practice armor. When we first started training, the uniform was even worse. Thick woolen gloves and a tall leather collar buckled right under my chin, tight trousers tucked into tall boots, all to ensure that my skin was safely covered and that I wouldn't be a danger to my practice mates. And that's what we got, because my girl is poisonous. So that's me. For Miley, I wrote this yesterday, but since I'm just reading tonight, here's a line from WWW. It has been so long since she had to do anything alone. Ah. Also, this week I made pumpkin bread. Excellent. That is definitely on my list for this week as well. It's high time for a pumpkin loaf of some kind. And I love that line. A simple line that says so much. And yes, Amber, thank you for the gratitude. I am grateful too. I'm glad the timing was good. For Adam, the good thing that happened, a new dresser for my clothes. My new apartment is a bare bones box in a flop house in the ghetto, so the chances of luxury furnishings were slim. But a dresser was free. A super nice one with dark brown hardwood because a government worker pulled some strings. Nice. I love getting a piece of furniture for free. Nice job rescuing this dresser, and I hope it serves you well. It's a cartoon by the great Soviet artist Yuri Norstein from 1975. Very interesting. Hedgehog in the Fog. I will have to look that up. Thank you, Adam. It's very fun. It's very fun. It's nice to work on a fun scene tonight. We have some lines from JK from chapter 15 of Project Sugar and Spice. Xavier offered a watery smile, taking a step back. And to what do I owe the pleasure? Displeasure, Williams. He pursed his lips. Nice try, but my loyalty lies with Valdez. I'm sensing a little conflict, a little, you know, yeah, displeasure. That's a great word. And as always, there is a Ko-fi if you would like to support JK's project. I know you've been working so hard on your revisions, and we're so proud of you. Alrighty, friends. Thank you so much for sharing your good things and your lines and your gratitude. I love ending the night on a positive note and just love being here with all of you. Thank you for keeping me accountable. Thank you for bearing with the bad Wi-Fi. Hopefully, we will get that sorted out. I'm going to go back to StreamYard and see if that solves things. So, thanks for being patient with um until it looks like I'm back. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here before the Wi-Fi gets even worse. But as far as things up on the horizon, I'm still hoping I can squeak a vlog into September, but it may end up being early October at this point. It's my Act 1 vlog, and I'm close to finishing Act 1, but again, as I said at the beginning of the stream, September has blown me by, so it might end up being early October. But yeah, other than that, I'm sure I will see you again for some more streams, whether that be morning streams or our Wednesday night stream at the end of October around Halloween. And I can't wait to talk to you all and see how your fall is going. Thank you, Adam. I hope it was a nice chill time. Good night, Amber. Good night, Miley. Good night, JK. Thank you, friends. All right. Happy writing. Have a good night.